Topping today's news, Prime Minister Philip Davis promoting the Bahamas in London. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis speaks on police corruption. There is strong objection to the new cruise port's proposed water park and a number of high-profile cases before the courts today. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jcn Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. Prime Minister Philip Davis is promoting the Bahamas as a premier destination for global partnerships and investments in a series of meetings and events in London this week, including the African Leadership Summit. While in London, the Prime Minister will also hold meetings with the United Kingdom's legal team working with the Office of the Attorney General on matters regarding the Grand Bahama Port Authority, including the $357 million the government says is owed by the Port Authority to the Bahamian taxpayers. The Prime Minister met earlier this week with former Prime Minister Tony Blair to discuss matters of mutual interest and opportunities for continued collaboration. Those meetings will wrap up on Friday. The Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, is serving as the acting Prime Minister in the absence of Prime Minister Davis. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says it is essential for police officers engaged in corrupt practices to be rooted out of the force. The former Prime Minister making these remarks in light of the recent Royal Bahamas Police Force corruption scandal involving high-ranking officer in charge of Criminal Investigations Department, Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson.
Bahamians are frightened by what they are seeing in the national and international press. Bahamians are worried and anxious about the flood of allegations they are seeing on social media. And with the extraordinary level of crime and gang activity in the country, we need to know the depth of the problem. We need to know how pervasive corruption may be in one of the most important institutions of the state. Given its primary role in national security, the senior command and officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force must be trusted to protect citizens.
Dr. Minnis says that the allegations the country is currently seeing are among the most serious since the 1970s and 80s, an era he calls poisonous, resulting in the destruction of many individuals and communities here in the Bahamas. He says many in the judiciary and on the police force benefited from the drug era in the 70s and 80s, with effects still being seen today. Dr. Minnis is calling for a commission of inquiry into the former CID chief.
A commission of inquiry should make a diligent and full inquiry into the prevalence of criminal gangs in our Bahamas. It should investigate among the following: 1, the leadership of such gangs. 2, the influence of such gangs in communities and islands throughout our Bahamas. 3, the involvement of such gangs in illegal activities, with particular reference to illegal firearms, dangerous drugs, and any other illicit activity. 4, the relationships that such gang leaders and members may have with senior law enforcement officers, inclusive of the police, defense force, and immigration, and the influence that they may have upon such officers, if any.
Dr. Minnis said the relationship gang members have with elected members of parliament is also a point of interest and a point of concern. He says he believes the commissioner, that's the Commissioner of Police, is trying to address these matters properly, but is not being done sufficiently. He says the police cannot properly investigate themselves. Minister of Education Glenys Hannah Martin is responding to the Nassau Cruise Port's plans to launch a $35 million water park. The Education Minister opposed the construction of the pool-based water park, set to be completed within the next 18 months on the western end there of the cruise port on Wednesday in the House of Assembly, as members of Parliament gathered to debate on a compendium of bills. The Minister of Education had this to say.
The cruise port is a a dock. It's a docking facility. The port is Nassau. The port is Nassau. And I will say no more. The port is Nassau. In Nassau, we have our straw vendors, our taxi drivers, our entrepreneurs. We have this huge, rich, cultural, dynamic, full expression of who we are in the port of Nassau.
The Bahamas Constitution Party publicly is objecting to the park's construction as well, which they say would flatline all small tourism-related businesses in the downtown area. Straw market vendors have already complained about the port taking business away from them. The Minister of Education was firm in reiterating her position against a water park at the cruise port downtown Nassau.
And so, I heard some talk about some water theme park. Please, give it a rest. Give it a rest. Let our people come through your dock. You could make your dock nice, no problem with that. Come into Nassau. Come into Nassau. And so I hope they heard me on that. Because that... No, but see, the thing is, that is the cultural reality of who we are is out here. It's wherever you go out here. This is why you come to people's destination. We're a nation, not just a destination. And so I want to whisper that to them on this microphone. Give it a rest.
Minister Hannah Martin adds that more than anything else, the Bahamas creatives need to be fully embraced and integrated into the tourism product. And finally, in this segment, there has been some social media mischief with regards to this year's national examination results. The action has caused the Ministry of Education officials to make it clear that those recent posts about the 2024 national examination results, BJCs, BGCSEs, they are false. The ministry says officials are working assiduously to ensure that the results are released in a timely manner, but the BJC and BGCSE examination results for 2024 have not been released and will not be released until August 6th. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.